Good evening, SynergyPWR viewers across the world. Welcome to SynergyPWR People's World Racing, and we're here for round number 2. It is the Bahrain Grand Prix. Big thank you to everyone here tuning in here for this Q3 session here for Division 1 at the Bahrain Grand Prix tonight, and I look forward to being here with you every step of the way throughout these, what will be an extraordinary time on the track. Total of 17 drivers on Division 1's roster tonight. And that's going to make for a very interesting situation here in Division 1. Sending off all our regards to every single driver here currently racing in masses of heat here, especially if you are in the UK at the moment, currently undergoing quite an extensive heat wave at the moment. But it's certainly going to make for an interesting one to see who can come out greatest in this Q3 session. As it stands at the moment, very, very close in pace between the likes of the Mercedes of Tapeta, the Red Bull of V Recluse, and none other than the return of the Red Bull of COR Mulan, also making some early steps here, and his return to SynergyPWR People's World Racing. Going to make for a very interesting scenario. Sending all our regards, as I said, to everyone racing in the heat tonight. Proper Bahrain atmosphere, if you will. Afternoon Resolutionary tuning in as well, like SynergyPWR driver, supporting V Recluse tonight. Of course, fellow Sync members, of course, fellow AMS drivers as well in PWR Cookie and PWR Dan. PWR Cookie actually currently out of qualifying and ended up DNFing in Q1, so he starts P15 on the grid tonight. It's certainly going to be a very peculiar one on track as a result. The Red Bull of COR Mulan, though, on his return to SynergyPWR People's World Racing, nice to have him back. He's about to start his lap around the Bahrain Grand Prix. We'll stay on board with him on that soft tyre, of course. As he starts his lap now, the Red Bull driver looking to try and capitalise on what was a fairly good result, actually, at the Australian Grand Prix last week. Takes turn one very nicely, just clipping that curb very nicely. Losing the rear just a smidge, but catching it. DRS open as he heads through 2 into 3. Got to keep it close and on that apex, really, really maximise the amount of space you've got, though. That's exactly what Mulan has done. Heading through 4 and 5. And then the left-hander of 6, where we saw Sufyan and PWR Hayes racing very well in Division 2 last night. Sufyan may notice Division 2 driver racing in Division 1 tonight as well. Very easy to lock up here on this particular corner. Not so for the Red Bull, though. DRS open again. Nice to have people in the chat as well talking at the moment about wanting to keep them calm on their nerves. Richie Evans popping in from Division 2 tonight, also racing in this Division 1 race. Nice to have him on board. PWR Verline going fastest than anyone, 1 minute 26.2. Of course, he is the first person to come across, beaten by FFR Hamilton, 1 minute 25.636. There comes the Red Bull. Will be the next to set a lap time here. Will the Red Bull needs to really, really push here, try and keep himself on, maintain a good speed. Looked like it was a very clean lap, but it wasn't the fastest. 1 minute 26.002 as Tapeta just behind does go fastest by quite a long way as well. 1 minute 25.24 tenths of a second separating him from FFR Hamilton. Good luck from the Mercedes. Here's PWR Harriet in the Ferrari. Number 14, looking to try and come across the line, trying to improve on anyone, but is slowest of everyone who's set a lap so far in that Ferrari. 1 minute 26.502. We'll be disappointed with that. Fastest in Q2, V Recluse. Was a bit of a favourite to take potential victory here. Certainly taking the title is one of the favourites, but he's not been particularly fast in Q1 and in practice. But he did go fastest of anyone. It was within the threshold of the medium tyres. Tapper's going to be starting on tonight. Veracruz will be starting on the softs. His DRS is open now. Red Bull looking to try and get above Tapper. Will he do so? He can't. In fact, he goes third. He didn't even manage to get onto the front row. Third place for Veracruz. 1:25.816. Puts him 6/10 down on Tapper. FFR Hamilton looking mighty fast as well. Fair play to him. Here's Mongdog, better known to you and me as PWR Derby. And the Division 2 driver in the Racing Point looking to try and maximise a very good race. Last night, apart from when the internet seemed to force him out of the session and he couldn't reconnect in, otherwise really should have been on for another win. By the way, the best water technology, Racing Point, Force India, Aston Martin, Red Bull, no, not Red Bull, never mind. Going through final selection of corners now. One of Floors that's the line really wants to go around P5 here if he wants to look positive. 26.0 as well. That's 3 people within 26.0, and FFR Bryant actually only missing out on P5 by 1,000th of a second as well. So 3 people within the 26.0s and only get just a 10th up on that one. In fact, half a 10th on that actually. 25.95. So really close stuff and close margins here for potential second row spot here in qualifying tonight. Big thank you to everyone tuning in here tonight. 10 of you popping into the Division 1 race tonight. Really appreciate all of your support. And 5 minutes to go in this Q3 section suggests we're going to be having a pole sitter. The Frenchman, Tapper 57, will be sitting the way as it stands at the moment. But some people may want to think that they can find a little bit more time. There's Mongdog on a slow lap at the moment. But people leaving on out laps quite early on here. One of those people being COR Mulan. Set number 35, COR Mulan, looking fairly strong. Wanted to have a good return here to SynergyPWR. And he didn't have a bad one at Australia. Racers number 35, but number 23 written on his car at the moment. Obviously that belonging to Alexander Albon. Fingers crossed that should fix itself on the next time of asking. Good effort though from COR Mulan to get into P5, but as you can see there, only 1,000 separating him from FFR Bryant. Only 24 thousandths of a second separating him from Mongdog as well, so he'll want to try and push as hard as he can. Maybe new tyres and some more fuel in the car for the Red Bull. Can he improve upon his P5 at the moment? Only needs to find half a tenth to get within the P4 and get on the second row. If he wants to get on the front part of the second row, he will need to find a couple of tenths. And 4 tenths if he wants to get on that front row. Excellently crafted through 3, heading through 4, 5 and 6. And he has found that half a tenth he needs for P4. Will he find any more in the second and third sector? Let's push as hard as he can as he comes through here. Now the long left-hander where you would usually see a few lockups, but excellently crafted by the Red Bull. DRS open as he heads down towards this again, another long sweeping left-hander. Takes a wider line, but very excellently taken. He'll improve his time as a result of that one. Comes through the second sector now, and he'll hit the detection point where he is actually just over a tenth and a half up. And in fact, he's just invalidated it going through that right-hander, and it was a purple sector too as well. So he was looking strong, was COR Mulan, but he's now Going to have another bite of the cherry here. We're disappointed with that. That's the unfortunate circumstance of strict corner cutting here in Division 1. As opposed to regular in Division 2. Division 2 drivers having to deal with what is a very, very different experience. Sufyan, the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix last night, yet to set a lap in Q3 here. We just see PWR Wehrlein go faster into P2 for him. Anyway, Sufyan, we really wanted to push here and get the best lap he possibly can here, and he hasn't set a lap yet. We'll have another bite of the cherry after this one if he does mess it up. Either way, I'm sure he'll want to set a banker lap. You can see there, he wants to get in that 26-0 and try and split them up a little bit. Preferably get into the 25s if he can. Taken well, but invalidated again. Another casualty of that particular corner. As FFR Hamilton retires in the pits. Well, either way, it'll be Hoonigan that'll set a lap next. But it will be COR Mulan, who takes that lap first, and he's actually very slow. I think he's just recuperating his ERS energy, giving it one more go. Plenty of other people on outlaps at the moment, just starting their laps. There goes V Recluse, he's just started his. 40 seconds to go, and still some people yet to get around quite a significant chunk of the track here. One of those being Mongdog. He's just heading now around the left-hander at the end of the DRS straight. That is turn 11 as he goes through 12 now. Hoonigan though. Bit of a lock up there from the number 14. Big Ferrari fan, absolutely adores this car. Even if in real life it is a bit of a pig to drive. Lock up again heading through that corner. Turn 10 will be the guilty party of a lot of lockups, I feel tonight. He heads to 11 now. Apex clipped nicely. Will be the Alfa Romeo of Sufyan, who takes the next lap, and he's fastest in the second sector is Hoonigan. Could be a good lap here from the Ferrari, looking to try and maximise his potential. PWR Wehrlein finishes in second. He'll be starting maximum second place. A good effort from the Haas driver. Here comes Hoonigan now. He'll come across the line. Fastest second sector. Might improve his position, and he does to a 25.7. Puts himself above V Recluse. But here comes Sufyan, who's invalidated his lap. So he's now out of the running. So the next person will be V Recluse, and he can't improve either. Here comes COR Mulan. I don't think he's going to be improving either by the looks of things. He's going to come across the line now, and he does improve. 25.5 for the Red Bull. Can't beat Tapeter's 25.2 though. An excellent lap indeed from the Frenchman. Here comes Bryant. He can improve his lap time, but not his position. 25.8 for him. And the only driver to be still in the 26 at the moment is Mongdog, and he's got a fastest second sector of anyone at the moment as well. When I take a wider line, chooses not to take more curb instead, floors it. Will need to try and get into the 25s here, otherwise he's going to look a little bit ridiculous in the times, and he does 25.7. And look at that as well, so another person 25.7, 3 drivers in that 25.7 range, and V Recluse down in 8th. Time margins here in Division 1. And the Division 2 drivers really having a say. Mongdog 6th place. Great effort from PWR Derby. Take a look though. At those standards, you can see their Tapeter taking pole position by 0.3 of a second. Good effort from the Mercedes Frenchman. COR Mulan finishes in second place, with PWR Wehrlein will be very happy with third. Then you've got FFR Hamilton in fourth, also in the 25.6 range, with Harry also doing a 25.6. Mongdog, Hoonigan and V Recluse also doing 25.7s altogether as well. Very tight margins between second and 8th. And then you've got FFR Bryant on the 25.8. So good effort there from the Welshman. And then Sufyan yet and failed to set a lap. He starts in P10. We go through now to a short break of 5 minutes. Well, there'll be no readying up then until the start time. officially 2044 UK. So 5-minute break heading through into this Division 1 race, and a very, very, very interesting grid we have right in front of us at the moment, with a fantastic number of drivers here in together, 18 in total. Would have been 19 as well, actually. I mean, unfortunately, one person missing, PWR Dan, was still missing him at the moment under really, really unfortunate circumstances. But nonetheless, Division 1 showing some real proper quality at the moment. We head through, though, with those 18 runners. Tapter leading the way. He will be starting on that medium tyre as well, which is really going to help his pace here tonight. You want to start on that medium tyre to get the best strategy possible. COR Mulan also on the medium. Verline and Hamilton both also on that medium tyre. Harry starts in 5th, but he's on that soft tyre. May need to consider that two-stop strategy, otherwise he's going to have to go to the hard quite early on, unless that safety car changes a matter or two. Mongdog starts in 6th. He'll be a bit disappointed with 6th, actually. I think he knows he's got a little bit more pace behind him. Either way, separated by only tenths, even hundredths of a second between P3 through to P9. Hoonigan starts in 7th in the Ferrari, out-qualified by his teammate, with V. Recluse starting in 8th. He's been out-qualified as well. Favourite to potentially win this division. So far, not showing the pace that he needs at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Did win Australia, though, so we'll see how he does from 8th. FFR Bryant starts in 9th with Sufyan. Failed to set a lap time in Q3. He starts in 10th. Pez starts in 11th with Hamster in 12th. Clapp starts in 13th position with J. Wills in 14th. Cookie is the mixture of the lot. He starts in 15th position after crashing out in Q1, and Morgan 4S having a very appalling Q1 session, did not manage to get out as a result of that one. He starts in 16th. Paul Davey and Richie Evans making up the back of the grid on the 9th row, and very intriguing scenario as well, because of course those Division 2 drivers have been sort of sandwiching the Division 1 runners in 15th and 16th place on the 8th row of the grid. It's going to make for a very interesting scenario, but fair play to Tapper for getting 3/10 on everyone else who was so tightly compacted for that pole position. Fair play to the rest of them. We head through with only 3 minutes left on the clock. Would love to know your favourite for potentially winning this race tonight. We've got 29 laps ahead of us. Let me know in the comments. I'd be very intrigued to hear your thoughts and feelings for the victor tonight. The Bahrain Grand Prix starts tonight, and then of course next week we've got the Vietnam Grand Prix. Going to make for a very interesting scenario. First time we're going to be visiting Vietnam here at SynergyPWR People's World Racing. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday and Wednesdays from 7:30, of course, UK time, for what will be a magnificent race. I am sure of it. Division 1 then, slightly different to Division 2 here at SynergyPWR People's World Racing. One major difference, of course, you have to get used to the fact is that it's a strict corner cutting as opposed to regular corner cutting in Division 2. And some of these Division 2 drivers will be accustomed to that. One person that wasn't, though, Sufyan, obviously managing to win the Bahrain Grand Prix in Division 1 last night. Unfortunately for him, though, did not set out and ended up winning the race, but did not set out to get a qualifying lap time, unfortunately, in Q3, and starts in P10 tonight. Going to make for a very interesting one for him because he has got a little bit more pace, but of course the penalty situation may be a lot more dire for him. And of course, one of the major differences with Division 1 and Division 2, of course, is pace. Significant sort of pace advantage if you are in that Division 1 run. But they are relatively close in the sense of overall pace. You saw there, Division 2 drivers are managing to get through to Q3, rather. And that is a really good showing from those drivers. Resolutionary saying it will be Mulan on the top step of the podium, with Kai in second and Mongdog in third. Although I suspect Resolutionary wanting a Red Bull top step. That will be a Red Bull 1-2, naturally, as a supporter of Red Bull for the ex-SynergyPWR driver. 15 seconds to go before the drivers are free to ready up on the grid. And again, very peculiar, interesting stuff. We will be back very shortly for this Bahrain Grand Prix. Good evening, SynergyPWR viewers across the world. Welcome to SynergyPWR People's World Racing, and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix here in Division 1 tonight, in a very, very interesting qualifying. Led Tapita onto the front row of the grid in first place tonight. He joined alongside COR Mulan and PWR Verline and FFR Hamilton in a very, very close battle for that pole position. Very, very interesting in Division 1 as well. Taking a look at the rest of the field, because you've got the likes of PWR Harry, Mongdog, Hoonigan, V Recluse, all within half a tenth of each other, up to a tenth when you get FFR Bryant in there. Sufyan failing to set a lap in Q3, starts in P10 tonight, right bang in the middle of some intense races with NG Pez, PWR Hamster in Division 2. He starts in 12th with Clapp in 13th, Wills in 14th. Cookie and Morgan out of position in 15th and 16th after an appalling Q1. Saw Cookie crash out and Morgan not failed to even get out of Q1. Paul Davies starts in 17th with Richie Evans at the back of the 9th row of the grid. And I'm very, very much looking forward to the situation here. As said though, Tapita, the Frenchman, leads the way here tonight in the Mercedes, the number 60 Mercedes, looking to try and capitalise on a great performance here tonight. He will want to win this race. He wants to take it to V Recluse, who is not having the best of races here tonight by the looks of things. His qualifying suggests he's not going to be up there. Will he be able to back off and try and defend his lead in the championship? We'll have to see. Either way, the predicted pit stop strategy for the medium runners, look at that, 13 to 15 laps, and then you're on the hard to the end. Alternatively, you could do the 2-stop, but it is a bit slower. Bit of a situation for PWR Harry though. The Ferrari man starts on the soft tyre tonight in 5th place. And that Ferrari runner will be looking to possibly do a 2-stop. May have the opportunity to do a 1-stop, but he will need to swap onto the hard tyre towards the end. Or rather towards the start and then go to the end with a number... Well, it's number 69 now, isn't it, for PWR Harry? But still, he will... starting P5 on the soft tyre. Here comes Richie Evans starting from the back of the grid in P18. The Alfa Romeo will be leading the way out the back. We'll see how he does, and the rest of the drivers, they're now lining up on the grid. And with the drivers lined up, we're counting down the lights. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and it's 5 lights. It's 5 lights, and they are a go. The drivers, here they are. Tapita having an absolutely cracking start against COR Mulan. He's looking like he's might have to defend off P3 here. PWR Verline looking fairly strong, but maybe battling with PWR Harry. Remember, he is on that soft tyre. Late braking manoeuvre maybe around the inside here for PWR Verline. As you can see, the pit stop strategy there for him will be that medium tyre to the hard. But COR Mulan looking fairly strong at the moment to try and battle back. Oh my goodness me! Right to the back is PWR Cookie. And I'm not sure what happened to the Renault there, but he went absolutely flying. And the AMS Renault sent all the way to the back of the grid in 18th place. Either way, no safety car come out of the, as a result of that one. Very peculiar situation there with Tapita leading the way though. Over a second already on COR Mulan looking very quick here. And he may have to defend here quite strongly. Oh, by PWR Harry looking fairly strong in the Ferrari at the moment. And the number 14 looking very, very fast on that soft tyre. But he is going to have to start pushing here. Otherwise, those softs are really, really going to fall off a cliff very, very quickly indeed, and it's going to force Harry into a situation he may not want to be in, with the likes of FFR Hamilton and Verline ready to take force when they're needed. And you've got Hoonigan as well, also the teammate to PWR Harry, also in the mix as well on that medium tyre. And V Recluse also gaining a position himself in P7 at the moment, looking all right in the Red Bull. I just need to keep that consistency going, but remember, he is starting on that soft tyre, and that is going to be a very tricky scenario for the Red Bull runner. Starting the second lap, not the third lap, as they come out into the first corner once again here. Good effort there from the fielders as the drivers go straight past here. PWR Cookie, remember, having to gain all that time back after his car went flying. And Resolutionary in the chat tonight saying that's Renault's new aero package. I hope to God it isn't, because that was a frightening concept there. COR Mulan leading the way apparently, but Tapita is in front at the moment. Looks like we've got a bit of a timing glitch at the moment, which we have seen commonly in this game. Fingers crossed it will sort itself out very shortly. Looks to me as if everything's back up and running. But fair play to Tapita, starting to pull that gap at the moment on COR Mulan. PWR Harry still trying to get closer, but he's really going to have to start trying to push and get past COR Mulan. Otherwise, he's going to begin to struggle with those tyres because they will wear thin. And they'll wear thin sooner rather than later. Good driving so far from the fielders here and on lap number 3 as we start. As they come across the line, they will be starting on the 3rd lap, and the 3rd lap will bring out the DRS detection for everyone to start racing once again. Tapita, fastest lap of the race so far. And there will be the DRS enabled now for the drivers. Might be PWR Harry might be looking for a bit of a move already here, as the number 69 Ferrari obviously changed his number from number 14, looking very strong here. And the PWR Harry looking to try and close down that gap. Can't make the move on Mulan just yet, and towards the back you can see there the DRS train really starting to form here, because there's a train all the way back from P2 all the way back here to P14 at the moment. Really good stuff. Going to make for some interesting overtakes happening. We won't mind going back actually towards the back here as we go on board here with PWR Hamster battling with his teammate Morgan 4S, and of course remember Hamster is a Division 2 driver, so he will be earning points and taking points off Division 1 drivers, but of course they won't be ranked on the table. So Morgan will be very keen to try and stay out in front here, but Hamster looking very strong here as they head through into turn 10, turn 11. Can't make that move, can Hamster, and that might invite PWR Clapp into the mix here. He's in the Williams this time around, but remember, of course, these drivers all picking whatever teams are available being Division 2 driver, and it looks to me as if he has made the move here, but they're still going side by side at the moment, these two Division 2 drivers, racing very well at the moment. Oh, going off the track a little bit. That might have been an illegal overtake. Not sure. Either way, will have certainly got that situation. As Resolutionary making a comment there for Hoonigan, who has spun the car in the Ferrari. And he is now relegated down to 17th position. V Recluse, fastest lap of the race so far. He is up to 5th place at the moment, actually, as the Red Bull driver, looking to try and get past the sister car in the Alpha Tauri. That's FFR Hamilton. And he is looking strong on that soft tyre, but of course it will wear thin very quickly as FFR Hamilton losing the rear and just snapping it back into position. Both Honda Power cars looking to try and maximise the positions they're in at the moment, especially considering V Recluse managing to pull a gap of 2 seconds on PWR Verline. Richie Evans 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Remember, strict corner cutting here at SynergyPWR Division 1. So certain Division 2 drivers will not be as aware of track limits. There'll be Sector 1 yellow flags waved, and that is for Richie Evans, who has spun the car. Big look up from the number 94 Alfa Romeo Red Bull. I'll get there in the end. Very close racing at the moment, though. Again, that rear stepping out for FFR Hamilton could cause him some problems here. There's Mongdog also in a situation as well. He ends up losing some positions. He's down 9. With this DRS train really starting to form now behind COR Mulan. You've got Harry Hamilton and V Recluse in there, as well as Mongdog has retired, and he's retired at turn 11. That may bring out a safety car, and the VSC has come out, and under the VSC rules of currently as it stands as well, they are banned from entering the pits. The drivers are not permitted to enter the pits at any given time under the virtual safety car. The pit lane is closed, so everyone must continue at a steady pace, 40% of the speed they would usually. He's lost it at turn 12, did Mongdog. It's really unfortunate. He's out of the race again, and he'll come back to Vietnam next week, hopefully with his head held high, remembering he did win the Australian Grand Prix in Division 2. And interesting news coming from the camp in P10 at the moment. Morgan 4S at the moment, as you see there, he's stuck in overtake. As Cookie gets into an accident with Richie Evans, he gets a 5-second penalty for crashing into him. Morgan 4S is stuck. Oh, driving through penalty for speeding VSC for Hoonigan. That's going to cost him time. But Morgan 4S is stuck in overtake mode and he has to deal with it. It's not a restartable clause here at SynergyPWR, so he will have to manage that situation, or he'll have to pit and retire the car. It is what is classified as an engine fault, so he will not be able to carry on racing here with that overtake button on unless he chooses to stay out. He's more than welcome to stay out, but he's going to have no electrical energy whatsoever. So he'll just be using the raw Renault engine at the back. Pure V6 power in the back of that Renault, but no electrical energy. He's going to be down 180 brake horsepower. And therefore it is down to the drivers to make that decision if he wants to, as it looks like V Recluse has got into a bit of an incident, and he has. Looks to me as if he got into an incident there going through turn 1, and as a result he's lost a bucket load of positions, and I'm not sure what happened with Mulan as well, but he's lost positions as well. Has V Recluse and Mulan got into a bit of an incident at Red Bull? Not sure. Very, very interesting scenario happening there. FFR Hamilton now up to third. He'll be happy with that, and FFR will be very happy with their performance so far in the Alpha Tauri. P8 for FFR Bryant. Hamilton up to third. Harry will be very happy about the situation. He's on that soft tyre at the moment, and he's got FFR Hamilton behind him. And it looks to me as if he is really struggling with that rear end at the moment, is FFR Hamilton. Either way, Harry will be very happy on that soft tyre now. He's going to try and manage his position here and see if he can match the medium runners on pace. Either way, FFR Hamilton looking very strong. Might already want to go for the overtake here by the looks of things. Here comes FFR Hamilton in the FFR Alpha Tauri. Ooh, losing the rear again, but very well caught. And Harry in the pits. He's had enough. He's coming off the soft tyre. Hamilton then takes second place, with Mulan in third. Recluse back up to fourth, and Pez up 6 positions up to fifth. Be tying with Morgan 4S here for potential. Well, actually, no. Morgan 4S actually will be getting the driver of the day as it stands at the moment with 7 positions gained. Good effort from the McLaren. And we've got a load of Honda Power cars currently holding the position in second, third and fourth, and Mulan will want to get past FFR Hamilton again. He was behind him earlier on. COR Mulan now trying to get into that chase. Sector 2 yellow flags waved, and that is for the Williams of Paul Davey. Got himself back up and running at the moment. But COR Mulan really, really needing to pick up the pace and get past FFR Hamilton if he wants to get back in that position that he was in. His teammate just behind at the moment in overtake as well. He's messing around with his ERS settings to try and keep up with the rest of the field. Morgan 4S and Paul Davey getting time penalties. That's for multiple warnings. As V Recluse does enter the pits now to get off the soft tyres. Ooh, very, very late. Trying to maximise the amount of pace he can as he enters the pits. He will be coming off these tyres now onto the mediums. 21 laps to the end, possibly doable, but remember they're on sim damage and any punctures are possible after 70%. So it may be a 2-stop here for the Red Bull. Either way, and he's going to be battling here with the likes of PWR Harry on that soft tyre at the moment. He's come out massively in front, has PWR Harry. There's Paul Davies, spun a little bit earlier on. Back up and running in 13th place, though, in the Williams. PWR Harry doing an excellent job at the moment now. Got himself in front of V Recluse, exactly what he needed. And remember, he is on that medium tyre as well, as a safety car has come out because PWR Cookie has binned it at turn 12. He's crashed at turn 12 on board with Tapita. You will see as it goes up the hill, potentially the Renault of PWR Cookie. Not the first incident he's been in today. And his car just up at the top of the hill there has brought the safety car out, and that will really upset the soft runners, especially V Recluse in 14th place, who's just come out of the pits. Be an interesting situation as regards to tyre strategy, though, because, of course, 7 laps gone now. Could be a pit now onto the hard tyre. Going to be interesting to see what the tyre strategists decide to do here. Tapita does come in. I suspect that it's going to be a long wind here of medium to hard tyre runners now. FR Hamilton in, Mulan is in, Pez is in, here comes Verline in 5th, then Bryant, then Sufjan. Morgan is carrying on. He is carrying on, surprisingly enough, on that medium tyre, so he's going to be overtaking all of these drivers and taking the lead of this race with the ERS glitch in his mind at the moment. That's an unusual call. Tapita leaves on another medium tyre. Very peculiar. He's going on to another medium tyre, so he's attempting the 2-stop. He'll be forced into a 2-stop. He started on the mediums, he's on to another set of mediums. It's a bold call from Tapita. He's going to try that one. FFR Hamilton goes into 3rd, obviously, with Mulan in 4th, and Harry chooses not to pit, of course, and as a result of that, actually gets out in front of Pez and V Recluse. Remember, PW Harry on that medium tyre as well, right? About a lap ago, actually. So Harry's barely used those medium tyres, and he's going to be faster than anyone else around him. So actually, this safety car's come out quite nicely for him and for V Recluse as well. Morgan Forrest commenting in the chat box, how do I fix the overtake glitch? No one knows. Absolutely no one knows. If you're stuck in overtake, it's down to you to try and sort it out. And if there's no fix for it, you've either got to manage it or retire the car. Really unfortunate scenario there for Morgan 4S. Worth making note as well, V Recluse now on his 2nd reprimand for internet connectivity. FFR Bryant might be due on as well with the amount of lag that he's going through. Holy moly. Got no doubt the drivers will be giving him plenty of space now as a result of that. One of those being Sufjan. PWR Verline in 10th, clapping 11th. Not the best stop from the Haas team. Verline in 10th, he came in 5th. SPW Hampstead, the Division 2 driver. I think he'll be happy with P12 at the moment on that fresh hard tyre. We go into the end. Racing for McLaren in Division 2 as well. Intriguingly enough, Hoonigan and Paul Davey getting into a little bit of a tiff there. Looks like to me he's overtaken Paul Davey under the safety car. Hoonigan lets him through. Richie Evans on that fresh medium tyre looking to try and catch up with the rest of the field. This is his last lap to try and catch up. I suspect he is going to be there with plenty of time to spare. Good effort from Division 1 so far, only 2 DNFs, 19 laps to go as NG, Pez and PW Harry getting into a little bit of a tiff there. Harry let back through. Don't want any illegal overtakes under the safety car. And it's looking to me as if he's trying to psych out the Red Bull of COR Mulan. Safety car should be coming in this lap. I think the drivers will be preparing for that. The question is how is Morgan going to be able to deal with this? He has got this overtake situation. He's going to be running out of overtake and ERS because of the glitch. As you can see there, the green bar across his wheel indicating he is stuck in overtake. And the safety car is in this lap. It's a matter of when Morgan wants to go here. Of course, he can't go just while the safety car is still out. He has to wait until the safety car has entered the pit lane. So he'll be very keen to hold off everyone here and not use too much power while he's got the overtake mode stuck on. Number 15 McLaren will be free to go any second now. And he does go now. And he's not caught anyone napping. We could be going 3 wide here as we go green again here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. It looks to me as if Tapata and FFR Hamilton are going to be making a bit of a double overtake here potentially on the McLaren. And Morgan looking to hold off here. Lock up there potentially. And he gets sandwiched, and there's a little bit of a tap happening in and around the field there. Not sure what's happened. Either way, Tapata does take the lead of this race. Sandwiched between him and FFR Hamilton was Morgan. He does hold on to P3 though. And COR Mulan would be very keen to try and get past him as well, knowing the glitches happen. But NG Pez out of nowhere goes around the outside of turn 4, goes off the track. May end up getting a little bit of a warning for that as well, as he goes side by side heading through into turn 5, turn 6, and they're still side by side, gets forced off a little bit. Mulan goes for the dive into turn 7, and he does make that move stick, I think, and the Red Bull does manage to get past. And it looks to me as if they're still side by side actually heading through to turn 8, turn 9, as the Red Bull's getting very up close, and I think Viva Cruz has just touched, and NG Pez does just manage to get past here, and it looks like he's now battling with PWR Harry down the straight here, and he's using overtake to potentially get maybe a little bit of a sight on NG Pez as well, and 2 positions lost now for Mulan in this situation, and Viva Cruz looking like he wants to try and get up close and personal with his teammate at the moment. Not sure if he actually tapped the back of Mulan, but he's struggling here with quite a bit of understeer and goes for the dive into turn 13, and he can't make that stick just yet, and they're still fighting here, but the hard tyre is certainly not looking strong here tonight. Late braking from FFR. Brian nearly caught out napping the rest of the field there. Tapata fastest lap of the race after the safety car naturally, but at the moment he's starting to pull a gap on FFR Hamilton. 1.4 seconds, no DRS just yet, but here comes FFR Brian potentially on a move with COR Mulan. It looks like the hard tire's really not falling in favour here with that Red Bull driver, as he just manages to sneak his way around, and there's a little bit of debris on the track. Hopefully no one hits it, otherwise it will be puncture, as Hamster gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Very quick driving from these drivers as they head through into turn 3 here, and it looks to me, as I said, if COR Mulan is really struggling here, and the debris of PWR Clap is missing an end plate, that's yellow front wing damage at the very least for the Williams runner. Anyone runs over that at turn 2, they're going to have to keep a very firm eye on that one. It looks to me as if there's also damage as well on NG Pez's Haas car as well. Viva Cruz really starting to loosen pace now, and the rest of the field in front of him is going to have to start picking it up here. NG Pez is in 4th, but does have that front wing damage. There it is, missing end plate. At least yellow front wing damage for the Haas runner. And that's certainly going to help one driver out, and that's Morgan 4S. He still needs to pit at the moment as well. Remember, he is stuck in overtake as well, so he does have an engine fault. And a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings for PWR Harry as well, on top of the pain he's currently going through trying to get past everyone. Tapata fastest lap of the race, starting to pull that gap at the moment. Still racing here as that pit window is now open for that strategy. Here comes the overtake for NG Pez. Trying his hardest to try and go around the outside maybe of Morgan 4S, and he tries his hardest here. He has that front wing damage, but the power is really reduced in the back of that McLaren, and he's really forcing him into a very hindering position here, as he has limited electricity left in his engine and relegated out of the podium positions. But of course he still needs to pit, does Morgan anyway. PWR Harry in 5th. Oh, he loses that rear just a little bit as well. Very close call in there actually from the Ferrari. Oh, big lockups happening here. It's invited Viva Cruz into maybe a little bit of a sniff going into turn 10. They're heading into 11 now though. And they've got a bit of a DRS train happening in front there that might force Viva Cruz to hang back a little bit. Said the Red Bull wasn't looking strong in this race. He won the race at Australia. So far only 6th place for him could cost him some big positions in the championship if everything else falls against him. Here comes the Ferrari of PWR Harry. May want to try and maximise his position here. He's going to pop it into overtake, I suspect. And with the DRS available as well, he's going to have a really good opportunity to try and get past that McLaren with the engine fault. And at the moment, He can't do it. V Recluse also trying to make a double overtake before we get anywhere else as well. Looking for the early opportunity going around the inside of turn 1. May get into a little bit of a squeeze here, and it looks to me as if the Ferrari's ghosted and is able to stay in front as a result of that one. And I'm wondering if that's due to internet connection. Either way, V Recluse looking to try and make another move heading into turn 3 here. Harry not very comfortable with the car at the moment, and he has that front wing damage, remember, does the Red Bull, and he's trying his hardest to hold on. Off the track goes Harry. They still go side by side into 5 and 6, and then he touches, and that is wing damage now for the Ferrari, who hits V Recluse and gets into an incident. And I have a sneaky suspicion Harry was not very happy at all there with V Recluse, and may have tapped him thinking that he had more pace than he actually did. Harry got into an incident, and in doing so as well, Sirwan Mulan has also crashed out, and he's crashed at turn 5, and that's brought out the VSC, and that's really unfortunate circumstances for those on with wing damage, because they can't do anything. The VSC means that the pit lane is closed. Virtual safety car out, 5-second penalty speeding under the VSC for a load of drivers here as we go green again here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and drive-through penalties for a lot of people. That's really unfortunate. One of those people being Harry actually had a really good effort there trying to hold off Morgan 4S, and it looks to me as if Morgan 4S and PWR Harry both having that drive-through penalty, and they're both going to serve it straight away, so they're going to continue racing with each other. Ooh, getting really close actually between the two of them there. That will promote the likes of J Wills, Hoonigan, PWR Hamster, V Recluse back up to 8th here, as it looks to me as if V Recluse has just managed to get past the Division 2 driver of PWR Hamster. Speeding in the pit lane for PWR Clap, who decides to retire from this race. Unfortunate stuff for him. He is out and retires in the pits. 14 drivers left in this Division 1 race at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and only 14 laps to go. And at the moment, it's really anybody's game in that midfield at the moment. Very, very strong stuff between the likes of Hamster, V Recluse, Wills, Hoonigan, Bryant, Sufjan, even Pez to a certain extent as well. But FFR Bryant really having to hold off some really big attack here from Hoonigan on that hard tyre as well. Made a good effort here, actually has Hoonigan, to try and get back up here after that spin that he had earlier on in the race. Good effort. But Alpha Tauri not looking very strong at the moment. He is on that hard tyre, trying to hold off an attack from the Ferrari at the back. Sufjan holding his own at the moment as well in the Alfa Romeo, doing a very good effort. The Division 2 driver managed to win the race, if you remember so correctly, last night in Division 2. Takes a jump to Division 1 tonight for a little tester, see what he likes. And tell you what, making a very good effort, making Division 2 look very proud in P4 at the moment for the SUF. Hamster in the pits to change off his tyres. And G-Pez in P3 at the moment. Holding his own very well at the moment in that Haas. And a bit of a no man's land as well, actually. About 4 seconds in front of him will be Clean Air, and about 2.5 seconds behind him is Clean Air as well. So he's looking to just try and manage his own race if he can for the next 13 laps, and he'll be on the podium. And a good effort actually from the Haas front runner. Hoonigan getting seriously close to FFR Bryant now, and Bryant has just left the DRS territory now of the Alfa Romeo of Sufjan. That's really going to cost him time here. Originally known as PWR Shadow, if you guys remember. Magnificent Division 2 season saw him get second place. But Hoonigan looking strong for a potential overtake here on the Division 2 run, as long as he doesn't outbrake himself. Lock up there from the Ferrari. Alpha Tauri also locking up a little bit as well. But Bryant is now out of DRS, and DRS an overtake available for the Ferrari. Not a lot of energy left in the Ferrari power unit here, so he might have to do a little bit of a dive maybe around the outside of 1. He will have the inside of 2 if he chooses to do so, and he will go for the late braking manoeuvre, switch back potentially if he does manage to hold his own. He's going to have to be careful here because he's got the Division 2 driver of Jay Wills behind him as well in the Mercedes. And this will be a good effort if he can make this one work. He'll go around the outside here for turn 4. He's got to make this work as Hoonigan. Remember the Division 2 commentator. Division 2! Oh, he's made an incident as well with FFR Bryant and put it into the back of him, and that's giving him yellow front wing damage, and he'll be disappointed with that, I think. And that's going to invite the Mercedes of Jay Wills into the situation, who goes for the overtake straight away into turn 7, and he's actually outbroke himself as a result of that one, and Hoonigan gets back through, and I think he's just clipped it as well. To me, it looks as if Hoonigan really did just push the car a little bit beyond its boundaries. Jay Wills now starting to get on the back of Hoonigan again. Out of DRS territory, though. Here comes Jay Wills now looking for a very keen overtake, maybe now on the Ferrari of Hoonigan. And Hoonigan now coming into the pits to change his front wing. And it will probably be mediums to the end as well for the Ferrari runner. Either way, he's promoting a load of drivers now. Be interesting to see where Hamster comes out here. Remember, Hamster got into a little bit of a tiff himself earlier. P12 for him. He wants to try and get out in front of V Recluse and Hoonigan if he can, and he's done so, and he's now back in the points. Taking points off V Recluse and Hoonigan in Division 1, and Morgan Forrest and Harry as well. Wonder what he's thinking inside that helmet right now. If my teammate gets close enough to me, I might give him the point. Either way, he's got one hell of a deficit to find, does Morgan 4S. He's got the upwards of 25 seconds to find on his teammate at the moment. It's an entire pit stop. Behind his teammate is Morgan 4S. Look at this, Richie Evans proving his own as well. 9th place for him in Division 1 at the moment. Double points finished so far for Richie Evans. I think you wouldn't be offended if I were to say he was a rookie of Synergy. But a couple of points finishes in Division 2, and so far a points finish as well in Division 1 tonight. Make him a very happy man. Paul Davey, the Division 2 driver, in 8th place at the moment as well, taking points off Division 1 drivers as well. Had a bit of a half spin as well at turn 9, I believe, actually, earlier on. A good effort so far. Back in the front here with Division 1 drivers getting into a bit of a tough. NG Pez is at serious risk of losing some points here to a Division 2 driver, Suffian 2914, looking very quick on this hard tyre. And he's just entered the DRS territory of the Haas driver. I don't know where his pace has suddenly gone, but NG Pez is really starting to struggle here. And he's allowing the Alfa Romeo, also a Ferrari-powered car, into the mix here, and I'm not sure that's exactly the approach he wants. But I'm sure that he'll want to take 15 solid points. Suffian getting very close and up close and personal at the moment with the Division 1 driver in the Haas. Mogul 4S is retired as well. He's actually retired on track, which is penalisable. Another potential overtake happening here. Ooh, a bit of a late switch back here from Suffian. Can't make it hold. Not sure as to why Morgan Forrest decided to retire on track. He did have that engine fault. Wonder if his engine has blown up or if he has retired on track. Either way, Morgan 4S leaves the session here with nil points and maybe a couple of penalty points to his name as well for retiring on track. He shouldn't be doing it. And Pez trying to defend Suffian here. People ask the question, why do you penalise people who retire on track? Well, the main reason is because, of course, if the car parks itself up in a very weird position, it could end up forcing a safety car. And that's the last thing everyone wants. Bit of a half spin again from Paul Davey. Now the Division 2 drivers starting to get into the mix here. For P8, P9 and Richie Evans looking fairly quick on that medium tyre as well. 11 laps old versus 10 lap old hards. It's Tapper to pits. Tapper chooses to pit, and he is going to try and make the 2-stop. 8 laps to the end on the soft tyre. But he's inviting a lot of drivers in front here. NG Pez will come out in front. Suffian will also come out in front as well. Not sure about FFR Bryant. We'll have to see. He does get through. Here comes Jay Wills as well. Tapper may have to go past up to 5 cars to try and take the lead here. Remember, he is now on that soft tyre. But the 2-stop strategy has not particularly worked out great here for the Frenchman. He wants to pull a full safety, maybe even a safety car region, but full pit stop if he could. And he could only find 7 seconds to second place. V Recluse fastest lap of the race in P12 at the moment. Nobody will be getting fastest lap as it stands because of that. But Tapper will now be heavily pushing to try and get himself back up to P1. But look at the gap he's got to find in 8 laps time. He's got to find 13.6 seconds. Can he find it? He's going to have to try and manage his driving here with other drivers as well to try and get past. He goes here for Jay Wills, his teammate, early on, straight away, straight into P5. Next person, FFR Bryan. It's going to be one hell of a drive here to try and get himself back up to that top step of the podium. Looking mighty quick compared to FFR Bryant with that sort of mid-range hard tyre at the moment. Soft tyres for Tapper as he's going to go for a late breaker, I think, and he's going to have DRS as well, which is certainly going to help his performance around the track. Ooh, maybe a little bit of a nudge with Bryant as well. Tapper now up to 4th and DRS open for the Mercedes. Looks to me as if he wants to have a little bit of a bite back here, does FFR Bryant. Goes upon the inside of turn 1. Maybe a late braking around the outside, so he has the inside of turn 2 for Tapper here as he tries to go around there. You can see the amount of grip he's got extra and does manage to get in front of FFR Bryant and gets into P4. Next person for him will be Suffian. But he has got 3 seconds to find now. He'll argue he's got plenty of time to try and get the lead here, but he does have to find around 12 seconds. It's a hell of an ask, but can he do it? Paul Davey, Rich Evans and Hamster all pitting for softs to the end of this race now. You can see there, FFR Bryant, look at the amount of time he's lost to Tapper straight away. In just that 1 lap he's made the overtake. You can see the difference between the hard and the soft tyre. And Tapper looking very strong, already getting onto the back of this battle here for P2. After which he has to fight with another FFR AlphaTauri. And that's FFR Hamilton in P1 at the moment. No DRS for the Mercedes runner, but fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 28.1. Suffian and FFR Hamilton getting into a... NG Pez rather, and Suffian getting into a bit of a battle here for P2. Still trying to collide, and there's a touch there between NG Pez and Suffian. I'm not sure if that wing damage is off the Haas or off of the Alfa Romeo. Looks as if to me it's come off the Alfa Romeo, and he won't be happy about that one, will Suffian. Probably will send a clip into the stewards for it. Either way, Tapper now up to P3. Next victim he'll see is NG Pez, and he is very, very keen to hold on to P2 as you've just saw there. Will he go for the early move? I'm sure he might. He's going to go around the outside, and he might have enough grip around the outside, you know, as well, will the Mercedes. What a move this will be, and makes it work around the outside, but he will lose the DRS to NG Pez on the straight, but the amount of traction he'll have might end up helping him out here. He comes across the line now, and I'm fairly sure NG Pez is too far back on just that one corner alone. By the way, Pez still has that wing damage, but so does Suffian now. I'm sure Suffian will not be happy with NG Pez after that little incident heading through turn 2. Again, a missing end plate on that car as well, so they're equal now. Tapita has now 4 laps to try and find, well, 5 laps to try and find 8 seconds. One hell of a drive this will be from Tapita if he finds it. DRS and overtake available now for Sufjan. He might make the move again onto NG Pez. Remember, NG Pez is looking for points here. Sufjan isn't. He's a Division 2 driver racing here, and he'll look to try and make the switch back maybe into turn 1. He's going to make this one work potentially. Loses the rear a little bit, losing that downforce. NG Pez does hold on to P3 as it stands at the moment. Tapita still trying to close down the gap, and the gap now 7.8 seconds, and losing buckets of time is FFR Hamilton at the moment. He will need to hold his own here. 14 lap old horse to the end of this race. Going to be a peculiar one. Happening in the middle ground as well here as V Recluse goes for a late braking move potentially on Jay Wills. Jay Wills on that soft tyre. Very old, very new soft tyre in fact. He's just come out of the pits, has Jay Wills. And looking to try and defend P80. And remember, he's not earning any points either. He's a Division 2 driver, but he still has every right to race as much as he wants as they collide, does V Recluse and Jay Wills. And it looks to me as if V Recluse there was just going for a closing gap. No damage on either car by the looks of things, so they continue racing. But he is very keen to get going here. As it stands, the Red Bull will only be getting a couple of points here tonight. Ooh, lock up there from the Red Bull. Not looking strong here compared to the fresh soft tyres of Jay Wills here. Is really starting to struggle, is that Red Bull. Not had a good race, not had a good qualifying either. Managed to get top of the standings in Q2, but he was on that soft tyre compared to Tapita being on that medium. Up 25 of 29, 4 laps to go. Tapita gaining now about 2 seconds on FFR Hamilton. As it stands, he'll be managing to get past FFR Hamilton on the final lap of this race if he keeps up with this pace. But as it stands, he really does need to push. Meanwhile, V Recluse really struggling to try and stay on the back here of Jay Wills at the moment. He's holding his own. He's the Division 2 driver in that fresh soft tyre, but very proud of himself so far here. Maybe another little bite here from the Red Bull if he can get close enough, but he hasn't got a lot of energy left in his car, and he'll go for the move, but in fact, no move at all. He'll go into the braking zone as per normal, and may look for a move into turn 3, but again, just the traction is just not there, and the Red Bull driver is still in P9. Sufjan looking strong at the moment against NG Pez, still holding his own even with that little collision that happened at turn 2, and I'm sure if he sends a clip in and the shoes take a look and penalise him, we're very happy to stay on the back of him because of course it'll give him a podium. Now Alfa Romeo looking very quick despite the wing damage that happened, as I said, at turn 2 between the two drivers here. And the Haas driver looking very strong as well. It's had not a bad race as well. Take a look though at those situations with the position changes. You can see there 8 positions gained for Pez at the moment. Gives him the fastest, gives him the driver of the day at the moment. Sufjan also gaining 6 as a contender. And still very close between these two drivers at the moment as well. Great racing. Up 26 of 29, gap now 4.7 seconds between Tapita and Hamilton. Sufjan does go for the little gap there heading into turn 4. And it's still side by side by the looks of things as well between these two drivers. And decides in the end not to go for it again. Sufjan trying to bide his time here. One a mighty effort from Tapita so far in this race. Making that 2-stop strategy work as it stands at the moment. 4 seconds the gap now to Hamilton. This battle for P3 is absolutely monstrous as NG Pez will get a warning. That will be for Trek extending at turn 12. Heading into 13. Little lock up from the Haas. Both having to manage some front wing damage at the moment that they gave each other. Can't get on the gas as early as he wants. You can tell Sufjan's frustrated here as SynergyPWR trying to break that slipstream here. But with the overtake and the DRS available, here comes Sufjan for the Alfa Romeo. May try and go for the podium here, will the Division 2 driver. He got the win at the last one. He might be on the podium here now. And SynergyPWR collides into the back again of Sufjan. And I put that one in himself there. And that may invite FFR Bryant up to P4 here as the Haas driver, now relegated to P4 and probably has more significant front wing damage. And you can see there now he's missing not just an end plate, but he's also missing some flaps as well. That'll approximately be orange damage. You can see the amount of time he's losing now to FFR Brian in the Alpha Tauri. FFR Alpha Tauri will be very happy with the situation here now. Potentially, as it stands, P1 and P4, but he does need to get past SynergyPWR, and he'll have an opportunity of possibly into turn 12. Maybe even turn 11 if he's quick enough on the gas. Here he goes. DRS open and overtake not on, so he's biding his time is FFR Bryant at the moment. Back to that battle for P2, or for P1 rather, starting the 28th lap, and Tapita really beginning to push here. Gap 2.5, getting at a rate of 2 seconds a lap, so he's going to be really up the rear trumpet here of FFR Hamilton as they approach the final lap. It's going to make for a really, really good finale here. FFR Bryant does manage to get past SynergyPWR for P4. PWR Bahrain may look for the move as well on his teammate for P5 here. I think Pez will be disappointed there. He had a chance to hold on for the podium, but he got too greedy. That's invited a load of drivers to take positions off him now. And they'll gobble them up all nicely. Say thank you very much. He tries to defend early here as the Haas driver. Looks to me as if actually he's given the Haas driver his position. PWR Bahrain now up to P5. Looks to me as if that was very, very corrugated. Fair play. Corrugated, wow. Choreographed. Gap 1.7 now. Tapita looking like he's starting to struggle here. Should have really been up the rear trumpet now of FFR Hamilton, put him under some pressure, and he might be under some pressure himself now to try and get on the back to try and take the victory here. The two-stop might have cost him a win here. But the gap is 1.5. And the Frenchman will not be happy with this position at the moment. I can't imagine those tyres are anywhere near the end of their life, but they've started the final lap here, and it looks to me as if FL Hamilton might be able to hold off here. But he's going to have to start pushing like hell, will Tapita. The AlphaTauri just needs to hold his own for the next lap and puts it into overtake as he goes down the straight, looking very much as if he wants to try and push on the car where he can, and he's maximising the most out of those tyres. Bit of a lock-up though, heading through 4. Good effort for P4 happening as well, potentially, with PWR Bahrain and FFR Bryant getting into a little bit of a scrap here. In very, very good scrap indeed, actually. And again, another FFR AlphaTauri car under some pressure from the car behind here. Bahrain looking really, really fast in the Haas. Bit of a late breaker there potentially from PWR Bahrain. Might want to make the move here. It's his last opportunity to make a move into turn 11, but a great exit from turn 10 from FFR Bryant, and I think that may have cost him potentially a chance at an overtake here. But as it stands at the moment, Tapita is not going to make that two-stop work, and it will be FFR Hamilton and FFR AlphaTauri's machine to come across the line and take victory here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Sector 3 yellow flags wave, not sure as to why. Either way, Sufjan will come across the line by the looks of things here for a magnificent P3 for the Division 2 driver, and that's another podium taken by Division 2 driver here in Division 1 tonight. FFR Bryant does manage to hold on for P4 as Bahrain comes in 5th. Pez will be very disappointed with 6th in the end with that front wing damage that he pretty much put on himself, I believe. He finishes in 6th place with Hoonigan finishing in 7th on that medium tyre. A very good effort indeed from the Ferrari, and a good effort from Wills from Division 2, 8th place for him. Vaucluse only a couple of points for the Red Bull driver here tonight. He won't be happy with that performance. May have also cost himself the lead in the championship. We'll have a see at the tables later on this week. Here's Paul Davey as well. It's a points finish for Paul Davey. Good effort from the Williams runner. Managing to get himself 10th place. And Division 2 taking another point off the hands. And there comes PWR Hamster in 11th as well. He'll come across the line for that one and actually takes 10th place off Paul Davey thanks to penalties as well. So fair play to PWR Hamster. Richie Evans comes across the line now in the 12th place. Very respectable indeed from the driver. Considered a rookie in Division 2, so good effort from him. And PWR Harry were very disappointed with his performance tonight. He finishes P13. And no surprise, Sufyan taking the fastest lap of the driver of the day, rather, sorry. And a really, really good effort from the field of drivers here today. But it will be FFR Hamilton in the FFR AlphaTauri taking the top step of the podium on a Honda-powered car. Wins again here in SynergyPWR People's World Racing. Congratulations as well to Tapper. A bit disappointed, I think, with second place. He knew he had it in him, but the pace just simply wasn't there to get the two-stop to work for him. He finishes in second place. And a third place in the end as well from the Division 2 driver, Sufyan, as well. So that's Division 2 taking another podium off the hands of the Division 1 drivers here tonight. Extra challenges indeed for those drivers. We'll take a look at the final standings here, and as you see there, FFR Hamilton does take victory here tonight in the FFR AlphaTauri. Congratulations to him. And Mercedes-AMG Petronas does take a podium here tonight, but it is Tapper only in second place with fastest lap of the race as well by quite a significant margin. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to find the pace to try and get past FFR Hamilton. Sufyan in the end finishes in P3. And again, a great effort from a Division 2 driver getting a podium and snagging it from the hands of a Division 1 driver. Bryant finishes in 4th with Verline in 5th. It's Pez in 6th, Hoonigan in 7th, Wills in 8th. Vaucluse will be disappointed with 9th, and Hamster won't be disappointed with 10th. Paul Davey in 11th with Richie Evans in 12th. Harry is in 13th, but Morgan, Clapp, Mulan, Cookie, all unfortunate deaths, if you will, of the Bahrain Grand Prix. They DNF from tonight's race. We're at Vietnam next week here in SynergyPWR, and it's going to be one hell of a race for sure. Keep an eye out on our YouTube and Twitch streams as per normal, and we hope to see you next week again, as I said, for the Vietnam Grand Prix and Hanoi. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.